Welcome everybody back to yet another beautiful stream here. Apologize for that little snippet of OBS. Here we are in a place pretty typical, okay? We're not doing anything really too big or too exciting here today. Heck, I hardly even have that much energy, really, or at least relative to usual, because, well, long story short, I'm exhausted. But I'm a man of my word, and I did say I was going to be streaming here today, and I am indeed. Just a moment, let me check the audio, make sure everything's doing well. Making sure the live's going good. Let me cut the music for a second. Well, long story short, I'm exhausted. Okay. Audio is all fine. Just checking. Been having a few issues just starting up. Okay. So, we're here today. Now we got two things here planned for today's main event. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet, or which to start with, I mean. Also, as comedic as today's episode is, I'm probably not going to laugh that much, because first of all, as I mentioned, I'm tired. And the second reason is I usually don't, demonstrate a massive reaction to most things. Or at least not, if I find something funny, I may not really laugh at it all that much. I may just look at it and be like, that's good. Although it depends. I don't know. Maybe I'll see something today that'll make me, laugh until I can't breathe. But we can only hope for that. Anyways, we're starting off here with two good old things. We have Steam reviews, which are comedy gold. And then we have Reddit. Yeah, we're bringing out the big guns in this episode. We have some good ones already not picked out, okay? We don't have people to do that. This isn't like Smosh Pit. But what we do have the ability to scroll like 2 inches with a mouse. That's pretty much it. Okay, we got a few here. Let's see. Am I in the wrong for deciding to postpone the wedding over a comment my fiance made about my scar? That's interesting. Being ugly as a woman really sucks. That's nice. My mother-in-law gave my daughter a bunch of conservative-themed children's books. Only on Reddit would you hear these kind of things. Also, notable feature. When I'm tired, you'll notice it'll be very obvious because I'll stutter a lot or I'll mispronounce words or misspell words, which I normally don't do or will compulsively correct normally. Let's see. My overreacting, I woke up to my boyfriend doing me... Wait, what? Wait, what? It just says doing... None of this adds to that context. I'm confused. Okay, that's interesting. Don't really see how those two things correlate, but alright. Let's see what else. Don't want to split the cost of a membership? That's fine. Okay. Mind the wrong for defending my right to skip a birthday party for my dad's almost stepkid, okay, and for insulting his affair partner. I'm sure that's great. Let's see. Streaming has ruined TV series. Right. Yeah. Am I overreacting? I hate the way my boyfriend talks to me. These are nice. I ruined my wife's life. Okay, alright, we're looking at some good stuff. Nobody's really in the chat, according to what I'm seeing, so I'm just gonna continue. I'm just gonna do the Reddit stories, and then we'll do the Steam reviews if we have time. I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. I already told someone, actually, that I was gonna be doing Reddit stuff today, so it shall be what I will do. All right. Where do we even begin is the question. I mean, there's so much slop on this website that, I mean, the bottom of the rabbit hole is nowhere in sight. Okay, we'll just do, I don't know, I guess I could flip a coin, but I don't really have any coins on me. I kind of want to pick this one. First encounter with cat callers in my area. I think it went well. I don't even want to know what that one's about. What? Okay, we'll do this one. Am I in the wrong for wanting... hang on. Am I in the wrong for warning my sister that if she won't shut up about what she wants me to name my child, then we'll need some time apart? Only on Reddit do people have these kinds of trivial, stupid, unnecessary familial problems. Like, what a random thing. And who cares, too? Like, really? This is what we're focused on? And yes, I do have on the left here, Chihaya Furu and Golden Time on the side here. What? I don't remember what I was looking up for Golden Time. I think I was, right. After I finished Chihaya Furu, I was looking up anime to watch, and Golden Time was recommended by somebody. So I was looking at that. I'm not watching Golden Time right now. I'm actually watching To Love Ru, which is definitely a whole lot more explicit. Kinda. I don't really know if that's the right word, but yeah. Let's see. And then I got some Star Wars on here. Anyways, sure, let me zoom in a little bit, maybe. You see that? Maybe that'll... Yeah. I mean, I feel like this would be good. Let me see if it looks right on the stream. Just give it a moment. I mean, nobody's in here right now, so I'm pretty much just talking to myself as of currently. See you, man. Is this fine? It's looking fine. I mean, I feel like we're just... If I just zoomed out a ton, it'd be funny. Okay, I'll just keep it like this. Okay, well, time to get to reading. Okay, I kind of want to keep the music on, but at the same time, I cannot focus at all when music is playing, or when there's sound. I have to read in almost total silence. So, here, maybe I'll just lower the music a little bit. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Alright. My sister, 30-year-old female, and I, 26-year-old female, have usually been pretty close, but during my pregnancy, she has been pushing boundaries over the name of my child. My sister gave birth to her son, George, a few months ago. George, that's really original. It was during the time our pregnancies overlapped that she became obsessed with this idea that if I had a girl, I should name her Charlotte, and then we'd have George and a Charlotte. Am I an idiot, or am I missing something? Screw it, let's look it up. George and Charlotte. Excuse me? I don't really... Is this supposed to be Prince and Princess George and Charlotte? Is that what they're referring to? What country is this in? I feel like that's important. Because who cares? I don't even see how that has anything to do with anything. Okay? You know, this isn't like having Anakin Skywalker or something as your child, right? Like, that's different. Let's name them George and Charlotte. That's nice. I don't really... it's not like Jack and Jill or something. Okay. Let's see. Then we'd have a George and a Charlotte. She's obsessed with all things Bridgerton. Okay, so that's where her inspiration comes from. That and how she likes classic vintage names. Uh-huh. My sister likes older names anyway. She has been a little opinionated on names I liked in the past. What a random thing to fixate on. Names. It's like, who's hyper specific about naming children? Like who? Like, you're gonna name your own kid. That's it. That's all you do. Like, you name your child and you're done, right? You name them something good. Okay, don't name them like X or something. I mean, I don't even. Nobody would really name their child X. Okay, I mean, we all know who's done that, but I mean, most people are probably not going to think of that, right? Most people are also not going to name their child like washing machine or something. I have a whole video with me and one of my friends where we're just criticizing different weird names online. This is what this reminds me of, or that's what this reminds me of, is just this random, like, what a stupid thing to get hung up over, It's like, yeah, man, I think you should have your child with this very specific name. It's like, who cares? Does anyone care, really? Evidently, no. Not that you'd think so, at least. Okay, let's see. Before either of us were pregnant, I had expressed that a little girl we met had a cute name, Meadow. Okay. And she was like, oh my god, no, and that's not the kind of name we should ever consider for our future kids. Okay. Another time after our cousin had a baby and she named him Dex, I said how much I loved it. Afterward, my sister was asking me why I'd lying, and I told her I didn't, and I really loved the name. Even with stuff like that happening occasionally, she didn't fixate on it. Are you sure? Because this sounds like the definition of a fixation. It sounds like an unnecessary clinging to a subject that nobody has any care for, right? Like, nobody cares what somebody's named unless it's something absolutely beyond stupid, okay? I mean, it's like, if you name somebody like George Washington, people are going to get hung up on their name, right? If you name someone washing machine or dish soap, okay, people are going to make fun of their name. If you name someone Meadow, nobody's going to get hung up on their name. Nobody's going to really care, right? So it's like, what's it matter to you? It's such a random thing. Okay, let's see. Also, once again, I don't know what country these people are in, so I have no idea if there's some sort of cultural thing that I'm not understanding. But now, totally different. At the very start, she told me I should choose a vintage name for a baby like Ethel, Evelyn, or Arthur. Jesus, what is Theodore? Okay, so she's stuck in the 1600s. Okay, that's what I'm hearing here. Let's see. I wasn't looking for name ideas and wouldn't discuss them with anyone but my husband. Then, when she had decided on George for her son, she told me I needed to name my baby Charlotte if she's a girl. She wants me to use Edmund for a boy because of another Bridgerton character. I told her we weren't discussing names. She kept bringing it up, and then she asked me when I was going to name my baby and said it wasn't something we were talking about until the baby is here and we're ready to announce. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. What do you mean, name your baby? The baby isn't born yet. They're not even, they don't exist yet. They don't, okay? Well, okay, technically they do, right? I mean, all of the material used to construct said biological organism within her is currently existing. The baby does not. Well, technically it does. I don't know how far in she is, but until she's born, until the baby is born, you don't usually name it, right? Like, that's, nobody's like, well, that's a good one, Georgef, and then it ends up being a female. Like, what then, So it's like, I don't really understand that. Also, another thing, what kind of sibling gets hung up on their sister's baby's name? Really? Why do you care? Like, also, Edmund, really? You serious? We're going with that? Yeah, he's the Duke of Yorkshire, apparently. Who cares? Once again, who cares? If you aren't naming them something horrible or in reference to something that isn't a good thing, then who cares? I mean, it's not really a big deal. Okay, Also, she's like specifically trying to find people or trying to name people names from this Bridgerton, which that's fine for you to do that, but you should not tell somebody to name their child something forcefully based on something you enjoy, right? Like, I don't even know. This isn't like some royal family. Okay, but she kept bringing up, and okay, I already read that. In reality, we're between two girls' names right now, with Lyra slightly winning right now. That sounds good. I know my sister won't like the name, and I'm not telling her in advance so she can double down even harder on the idea of Charlotte. But all this interference from my sister is making me mad. I've changed the subject, walked away, and hung up on her, and it still doesn't stop her. It's the other day when she brought it up again, I told her to stop. I don't want to repeat myself anymore, but if she won't shut up with the name Charlotte, shut up about the name Charlotte, or what she wants me to name my child, and we'll need some time apart, and I won't answer any calls or go anywhere she is. I told her I mean it. She's pushing too much when this baby is not hers. She told me I was overreacting and it would be petty to stop talking to her over baby names. Told her it's not about the names themselves, but the way she keeps trying to tell me what to name my child. I told her I didn't do this to her. Her response was I was acting like a child instead of an adult. I think this person's sister has a massive, unnecessary fixation on both names and children. Why? That's what I have to ask. Why? Like, what do you gain from specifically instructing this name? What? I mean, let's be real. This is pretty much a gimmick, okay? It is. By definition, it is a gimmick, okay? The two people have names that I guess are related to each other in some way from, I'm guessing, a TV show, okay? And so this is like, oh, great, we have George and Charlotte here. Guess how long that appeal is going to last? All but 5 minutes, okay? I mean, it's going to be like a week, and then they're going to forget about it entirely, okay? And it's actually worse if she doesn't forget about it entirely, because then that means she has this severe, I don't even know. I don't know what to describe this as, other than a fixation. This weird obsession with this particular name, and I don't get it. I mean, I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense, right? I mean, the thing about Reddit is that mental disorders do not explain the people on here. Some of these people are just insane. That's it. I mean, that's really all there is to it. And then some of these people are just weird. They're just weird. There's no particular name for them. There's no term to describe them. There's nothing that relates to them. They're just weird. They do weird things. They do odd things. And they do things that don't make sense and have no particular purpose. I mean, they're kind of like Heath Ledger's Joker, except that they don't really have any kind of actual plan. And before you say his whole point is not having a plan, watch the movie again and watch the bank heist scene. And yes, he does have a plan. That's what this reminds me of, though. I mean, this is a dog chasing cars kind of thing. All right, let's see. Remind her you're... What? Excuse me? Remind her your kids aren't married to each other. What? That's... Okay. That's weird. I mean, not the person replying, right? The person replying probably just gets the reference. But, whatever this Bridgerton is, I'm guessing the two characters are in a relationship with each other. Why would you name your two children that? Like, why? Is this Southern Alabama? Am I missing something here? 100%, or maybe they are a royal family. I don't know. She's going 100%. She's gonna get them matching Halloween costumes and set up a fake wedding when they're in kindergarten because it's cute. That's disturbing. Okay, maybe I need to wipe my memory of that. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's so creepy. Did he put a comma before thing? Wait, also, there's no comma that goes here. Like, not that you would start a sentence with but if you were to, you would start it with this, and then you'd put the comma here, and then you'd go on with the sentence, and then this would continue, and then you would put a colon here, and then say it's so creepy. That's how it works. But that makes it cuter, at least in her eyes. It's not like the best friends doing it in hopes of forcing their kids together. Oh, it's not like two best friends. She said that would be weird, but naming cousins like that is adorable. What? Hang on. They're sisters, right? Yeah, they're sisters. Is this person being serious, or I thought maybe they were joking, but like best friends doing it, that'd be interesting, you know. I mean, it's also a cliche, right? But two siblings doing it, that's that's a problem. That is a serious problem. What's up, Caden? WX analyst. All right, good to see you on another stream. I'm glad you tuned in. I've been streaming for like 15 minutes now? I'm not really sure. We're doing Reddit stories here today, friend, just like you requested last time. And yeah, I mean, we're getting started. I've already read through most of this one, so I'll just wrap this one up and then move on to the next one. This is about some girl. She's 26. Her sister basically wants. She has this weird hyperfixation with having her sister name their child a very specific thing based on some kind of characters. And apparently the characters are, I don't know, I think they're in a relationship or something. However, these two people, they're siblings, and their children would be named. I don't know. These people are weird. Anyways, yeah, that's the background. That's pretty much all you need to know for now. No, it's not really, or it's really not adorable. It's weird, but creepy weird. Also, I'm correcting their grammar. That's another thing. Let's see. Empathetic. That's true. Okay. This guy start a sentence without a capital letter. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Okay, time to start messing with her. Tell her you found an older name you like, Cletus. Even for a girl. Okay. After a while, tell her you're naming her after your first car, and then a favorite beer, etc. Keep her on her toes. Start naming kitchen utensils if you have to. My little spatula is kicking a lot today. You what? Dude, that is insane. What? Or whisk is doing a number on my bladder. That dude. What? Wait. What? I don't even know what to say. What do you think, WX analyst? What do you think about that? What do you think about those apples? I don't even know what to think. What is it? Doing a number on my bladder. What? Why? Also, Cletus is a name you give somebody who's either a redneck, inbred, or has a tater tot for a brain, or all three. That's probably the most likely. Sure. WX analyst says. That's one interesting thing. It is indeed. I don't even know where to begin with this stuff. Don't worry, it gets way worse. This is Reddit we're talking about. These people are, half of these people are like, they are the slime that emerges from the earth. They're like the monsters in Kong Skull Island, essentially. That's what Reddit's like. And we're walking all over Skull Island. All right, let's see. Then you respond with, our kids are... What? Dude, I can't with Reddit. It's just, why? I've never seen Bridgerton and got ridiculously confused because all I could think of was Will and Kate's kids, George and Charlotte. Why are people making comments about Sybil? Alright, we're moving on to the next story. This could go on forever. Okay. Which one you want, WX analyst? Let's see. We got I Ruined My Wife's Life. That's nice. That's from 15 hours ago, too. We got First Encounter with Catcallers in my area. I think it went well. We have... Okay, skipping this. We have this one here, this story. That's interesting. From 11 hours ago. And then we, skipping that. Let's see. And we got this one from 14 hours ago. Which one you want? 14 hours? 11 hours? 15 hours? 10 hours. That's what we got. I'll let you pick. Let you decide. The show shall go on. No, now is not a suitable time to watch this on one of 55 monitors, all of which are consuming mass amounts of social media. The Catcallers and then the Ruin My Wife's Life one. You got it. You betcha. Here we go. I should have known you would have picked something like this. Based on what I've seen of you, WX analyst, it seems in character. Alright, let's see. First encounter with Catcallers in my area. I think it went well. Do I even want to know? I don't even know if I want to know. Here we go. Okay. Let me just start with some context. I live in a small area in England. Big shocker. Alright. So being catcalled isn't very common because most people here are very friendly. But recently that changed when I was hanging out with an old friend. Interesting. Okay. We'll call my friend L. Are you serious? L? What, really? Are you gonna slander the name of such a great Death Note character? Okay, is that what we're doing? Alright, let's see. He's a trans man without surgeries. That sounds like England. He does like to wear feminine clothes, so we know him in my social circle as our favorite femboy. He finds this hilarious. Why? How is this relevant to the story? Please tell me how this is relevant. All right, time is money, and money is not this. So I'm gonna need you to continue, please, with the story. This is like if I stopped in the middle of a story to tell you about Taco Bell. Speaking of Taco Bell, I went to Taco Bell I'm just kidding. Okay, so me and Elle were hanging out after a long while of having to text and call. On our way through the local area, we happened upon some guys apparently a little older than us, seemingly at least. No comment. They saw my friend dressed very feminine and me wearing something very masculine. Thankfully, I didn't get catcalled due to the fact that Elle did. The guys were saying things about, "Dang, girl, you're absolutely lang?" Right, this is England. Some things they say don't make sense. They're just words. Or they made it up on the spot, or it's just random slang. Some of the slang here is pretty bad, you know. Maybe brain decaying, that's the best way to put it. Anyways, let's see. I hate the word lang, by the way. It makes no sense to me. Funny, same here. I've never even heard of this term. And I'm not usually confrontational with anyone. This made me mad. My friend looked super uncomfortable and angry, and I wasn't going to stand for him having to deal with it. So I turned to these guys and said the first thing that came to mind. The words are combined. Spaces and sentences, people. So we take English classes. I mean, this is in England. It's not like it's their second language or something. Unless this is Liverpool. I mean, then they're just speaking like XQC. Okay, first, not that he's British. Okay, first thing that came to mind. You know that's a man, right? He only dresses feminine to attract boys. this is probably the worst thing you could have possibly replied to somebody with. Like, on a scale from 1 to absolutely god-awful replies, I mean, this is definitely near the top. I wouldn't say it's completely at the top. I mean, completely at the top would be like immediately jumping to a gun threat, right? But, I mean, this is pretty high up there. Yeah. No comment. My friend smirked and followed up with, I'm not reading that out loud, Caden. Okay, I'm not doing it. That's not happening. Okay, you can look at the screen if you want. You know, it's right here. I'll highlight it for you too. There you go. There it is. Go ahead and read that. They turned away and pretended they hadn't just catcalled somebody and buggered off so fast. I've never laughed so hard along with Elle in my entire friendship with them. I almost cried in public from laughing. Once again, spaces and sentences. Next time, maybe they'll think of us when they want to hit on random women in public. Hope I scared them too much to do it again. You know, the funny thing, this is like the typical, like, this is what you would expect from these kinds of people, you know, where it's like they just go somewhere and then, you know, suddenly you got some random dude in England randomly catcalls. I hope they think of us the next time they do something so quite villainous. I hope they think of us every moment of their waking lives. You know, it's like, it's fine. It's like 5 minutes and you're over it. Once again, Reddit is pretty much traumatize them back. Is their name, their profile name. Why am I not surprised? That sounds like the kind of edgy thing you'd expect them to name themselves. Okay. Ain't no way, bro. Yeah, I know. Look, Aiden, I don't even know what to say to that other than just, what are we talking about here? I don't know. Favorite femboy is awesome. Wanna measure pretty boy top notch. My friend is amazing in so many ways. We used to date, so I can say that confidently. I'm getting away from here. You asked for this, Connor. You asked for that. Hang on, real quick. We're the slang terms used here. Love it for us Yanks in the U.S. Don't word it like that. What does lang mean? That's a new one to me. It's a slang term for nice or hot. It started as pangalang. What? Britain, look, the English language developed rapidly within the United Kingdom and the British Empire. So can you tell me what this is supposed to mean and why you came up with this? I've never even heard of this. I mean, really? This is what we're coming up with? This is our language here. This is the language we're using? That's really refined. Jeez. And then you listen to somebody speaking French, and it's like listening to a river flow, you know? It's beautiful. It's amazing. What was it, I don't know if he's the prime minister, the president of France. It's Macron. That guy, he sounds fine. But, yeah, and then you go to here, and suddenly we're going with Lang, you know? That's okay. Used to say it all the time as a teen, and this guy's a smiley face. I mean, this is the typical Reddit rhetoric that you would hear, right? Pun intended. Okay, we're moving on to I ruined my wife's life. We're just, you know, all in a good day's work, right, Caden? WX analyst. Okay, let's see. Update, or new update. I ruined my wife's life. Why am I not surprised? What are all these links? I'm not OP. That is this guy. True off my chat. I don't care. Okay. Let's see. I, a 43-year-old male, try to do my best to provide for my wife, 38. Okay. That's fine. Ignore any loud sounds you may hear in the background. They're temporary. Just walking around, shoelaces, that kind of thing. And 2 kids, 3 and 5. Why did he put 3, 5 instead of 3 and 5? Okay. As well as my mother-in-law. I don't know why everybody abbreviates it to capital MIL, but okay, and would like to think I am doing a decent job. Over the years, I worked to improve our family's living situation. Not only did I complete another bachelor's and recently master's in a STEM-related degree, I at the same time worked 2 full-time jobs, while completing my second bachelor's. Put my wife through school as well. Okay, what's wrong with this statement? Can somebody in chat tell me what's wrong with this statement? No, this is not me criticizing grammar again. What's wrong with this statement? Somebody tell me. Enlighten me. Advise. Use the I don't know, ghost of Christmas past. Ghost of Christmas spirit. And future. And past and present and all that fun stuff. Whatever Charles Dickens wrote in his book. Tell me what's wrong with this statement. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. WX analyst Caden Barker. Forcing something. Wife probably didn't want to do it. Boy, does anybody really want to go and do 4 years of schooling? Especially when it's forced upon them? No, they don't. They usually don't. I gotta say, guy writing this story, I'm not having a very good first impression of you for 2 reasons. Number one, you apparently had your wife go through college, like you made your wife go through college. Second of all, this guy's spending the entire first half of this explanation and story building up his credibility. Little does he know we're on Reddit and nobody cares about credibility, okay? I mean, you could literally say anything on here and not get reported to the U.S. government, okay? Well, in a few cases you do, but those are the real wackos. And by real wackos, I mean the real wackos that incite violence. Not like, I'm sure there's way more, I guess, obscene people on here. No, I barely want to go to school ever. Ain't that the truth, WX analyst? Okay, I mean, no less 4 years of college when you have I almost said wife, when you have a husband and kids. Okay, I mean, that's just, yeah. She completed a degree where she could make good money, $60,000 to $70,000 a year in a healthcare field that always has jobs available. With the birth of our 2 kids, she has since gave up on her career to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm glad I could figure that acronym out very quickly for the time being. At first, it was a struggle while I was finishing up my master's. Once I completed it after our youngest turned 3, my career took a jump up, and we are now able to afford our single-income household in a more feasible manner. We're far from rich, but do okay for a single-income family of 4. I don't care. Okay, the past year life was overwhelming per my wife. So even though I now work 75% from home, I budgeted to hire a daytime nanny to help her around the house with one child while the other is in school now. Okay, real quick, I just want everyone to note this, okay? You know the reason that we take any kind of English class in any kind of school ever? For countries that, even countries that don't speak English have English classes typically. You want to know why? Okay, so we understand how to write a sentence. Okay, you know what you don't want to do when explaining a story? Write with 0 punctuation or 0 proper punctuation. And so whenever somebody like me is reading the story, I'm struggling to put all the words together in the manner and tone they're supposed to go in, because I don't know where the sentence begins, ends, is supposed to continue, is supposed to take a breath, or what I'm doing. Okay, I'm basically just reading this like hyperactive. It's like the squirrel in Hoodwinked. Okay, on coffee, the thing's just huffing cocaine. I can't keep track. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. It's like there's like a period at the end of this sentence, dude. Really? You press one button. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's really not that hard. I can type like, I don't know. What was the last time I typed like 7 pages of crap and did it in like an hour? It's really not that hard. okay? And I'm not saying I'm the best writer of all time. I'm just saying it's really not that hard to use basic freaking grammar rules. Okay, anyways. My day starts every day. This is what I'm talking about, bro. My day starts every day. And the sky is blue.
What else is new?
Yeah, the Earth is a globe. It's spherical in shape. And let's see what else. We went to the moon, and that happened. Let's see what else. Elon Musk, he is a real human. That is indeed true. Let's see. Donald Trump is the president in his second term. That's also true. Let's see. There's a war going on between Ukraine and Russia. That's also true. The day starts every day. That's really informational. Thank you. I couldn't have figured that one out myself. Around 5, and look at this. He doesn't even have a colon in the time. It's 530. Well, 5:30 what? Okay, anyways, 5:30 to 6 a.m. I get the house ready for the day before the nanny comes at 8 a.m. I feel like I know where this is coming. I get our oldest up and ready for school, breakfast made, and plan out my day. Bring our oldest to drop off and be home in time to let the nanny in. Most recent... Okay, I'm skipping half of this. This is just unnecessary information. Let's see. Here we go. I'm glad I'm able to provide her that sort of life since we both grew up lacking in means. I get the possibility of postpartum depression, the stress of having kids, the feeling of being unfulfilled, the fact that I probably am a crappy husband. But for what it's worth, everything is taken care of and then some. Okay. The biggest problem with the guy who's writing this story that I think is blatantly apparent based on how he's writing and the way that he's wording things is, first of all, this guy is really full of himself. Very full of himself. He's constantly referencing how much he makes, his job, his education, what he does for his family. He reminds me of Walter White. No, I'm not joking. He reminds me of Walter White, okay? And not only that, but his reference of things like, for example, all the things he lists here besides the postpartum depression are all things that have dual meaning. As in, they apply to him as well as applying to his wife, despite him clearly, supposedly, talking about his wife, okay? And you see, this is one method that people with a huge ego use. They often use this, I'm not a good person, reasoning, only to then back it up with a counter statement that is supposed to, as in, emphasize that they are not indeed that thing. I mean, it's humble bragging, right? I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I'm a crappy husband. And then you follow it up with, but for what it's worth, everything is taken care of and then some. This is, now, let me explain to you how you would word this in a way that does not follow this mentality. First, let me read this comment. So basically, this guy only hates his children. He also hates pretty much anybody he has to come into contact with. We haven't reached that conclusion yet, WX analyst. However, I feel like we're going to reach that pretty soon. So, I mean, I don't think you're really that far off. Do I think he hates his children? Probably not consciously. Subconsciously, most likely does. Maybe resentment, or maybe resent is the right word to use over hate. However, I think he subconsciously likely does, because I mean, in this kind of scenario, anybody who has a large ego or pride, they often displace blame onto everyone but themselves. So, right, their children, their wife, their parents, their boss, they're all at fault somehow, okay, despite half of this probably not even relating to them. It'll get there, you'll see. But when it comes to this kind of wording, when you have somebody like this, I mean, you can just tell. You can tell. And one of the things they always do, it's very common. Anytime somebody is very arrogant, or they're trying to seem confident, right? Basically, if they're insecure, they often use previous struggle as basically like this reference point of, look how far I've gotten, right? Like earlier on, they mentioned here, since we both grew up lacking in means. Guess what? Most of the time you hear somebody who's massively arrogant and suddenly makes lots of money, they usually use this as this look how great I am kind of excuse. Okay? And don't worry, it'll get worse. Even though this story, remember, every story is framed in some way, and the framing with this story is meant to make the wife sound like the villain. Now, she may be, but this guy does not sound like he's much better, right? I mean, remember, it takes two to tango, and relationship problems usually have some kind of relevance to both individuals, not just one, right? The only time it doesn't is like O.J. Simpson. Well, no, even that's a bad example, because I believe his wife was cheating on him, right? So even that is technically involvement by two people, right? I guess the example would be like you have a totally fine relationship, and then boom, your wife shoots you in the head with a Glock 18, right? I mean, that's pretty much the only example where it takes one to tango. I'm going to have to think of a joke for that, but I'm a little bit exhausted, so I'm probably not going to. Anyways. Whew, okay. I managed the house finances. She claimed she was too busy to do so. Pay all the household bills. I pay my own personal bills. I pay her bills. Track and perform all the upkeep of our house, appliances, cars, pets, etc. And I also help pay for my mother-in-law's medical bills and car note. Okay. I see. Let's see. But apparently my life is on easy street compared to hers. I can't decompress to her because it seems like she always feels the need to one-up me. I had a bad day, but she had it worse because I'm lucky I got to go away and work. My feet hurt from walking all day during work travel, which is nothing compared to her standing and cooking with a child clinging to her. For the past 2 or so years, I've been told I ruined her life, her opportunities, etc. When I reminded her of what she says, she denies and dodges accountability. Well, I mean, that's pretty common. I'm not talking about the guy this time. I'm talking about the woman in this situation. I mean, that's like 101 scenario, right? Dodging, let's see, where did he say this again? Denies and dodges accountability. I mean, have you looked at the modern day? Like, yeah, this is 101 in relationship interaction, right? My mother-in-law has brought me aside and stated she's noticed a change in both myself and my wife. I have a greater attachment to my kids. Heck, I've hugged the dogs and talked to them more about my life than to my wife. First of all, I don't think he meant for that to rhyme, but I'm fixating on that rhyming. And then second of all, that's nice, bro. That's nice. He's talking to his dogs, Caden. And other person in chat. He's talking to his dogs. I'm glad. Glad he has someone to talk to. Who needs therapy when you have your freaking dogs? You know? I bet they talk to him too. Honestly, I would not even in the slightest be surprised if he suddenly brings up his dogs talking to him. He's like, yeah, my wife told me I needed medication, and, you know, I was hearing my dogs talk to me, and they told me, finish your work, Carl, and you know, and suddenly I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know where I was. She says I'm hallucinating, but I think she's just, you know, being a rowdy little, you know what. You know exactly what. Right? I'm half expecting him to go on that tangent. Alright, here we go. Let's see. I honestly feel like I'm in emotional survival mode as I'm one step from moving up the career ladder and one step from finding love and comfort from the bottom of a whiskey bottle. That's nice. He's an alcoholic. That's goody gumdrops. Okay. I'm sure I'll be hearing from the manly men of Reddit about how I'm simping. Who said that? None of that relates at all to that word. We're only roommates. Wait, okay, never mind. I was reading the wrong thing. But I'm not a machine. I just want to know and feel that someone I prioritize aside from my kids appreciates and loves me for what I do. Sure, I'll hear from the stay-at-home moms of Reddit, which is fine. I grew up in a single-parent/mother household. And you see, here's that. I'll finish it before I go into that. It's not easy, and honestly, with the help of her mother and a nanny, Munfree? What? Okay. For one toddler while another child is at school, can you honestly tell me she's having the typical stay-at-home mom experience? Because neither my friends or colleagues who are single parents can say she is. I'm sure the masses of holier than thou Redditors would consider this a poorly written fanfic, but it is what it is. Okay. Couple problems. First of all, Here we go again. Remember what I was talking about like 5 minutes ago? About, not only displacing blame, but also the whole reference point thing of look how far I've come, I'm so great. Let's take a look here. Let's see. I grew up in a single-parent mother household. It's not easy. Now, this does not happen with everybody who develops based from a single mother. However, it is more common that people who grow up with single parents, usually single mothers, struggle to properly develop emotional response to things, or proper emotional relationships, right? Typically maturity, right? I mean, this is 101 right here. I grew up in a single parent/mother household. It's not easy. It's this line here. It's not easy. Pretty much summarizes his entire rant, right? Okay. The way that this story is framed, like any story that is framed, is made in a way that makes him sound like he's suffering in some way, right? Or that he's the victim. However, what's important to note is that history is written by whoever writes history, right? As in, it's written by the victor. In this case, it's written by the person who sat down and decided to type this. As in, every single thing is from their perspective, and a lot of people are incapable of seeing things from other perspectives. Not only that, but most significantly, we cannot take everything they say at face value, and we cannot take their word for anything. If we take their word for anything, I mean, that's it. You have nothing, right? And so when you have this constant reminder that they are any kind of victim, usually is an indicator that they are not, right? Because a lot of the time, when you're guilty of something, you subconsciously know you're guilty of something. It's like lying. Liars, any kind of lie, is usually more elaborate and does not involve the individual, usually being themselves, that they're lying about. So it's usually more excessively elaborate and has unnecessary details that you normally wouldn't need to explain. However, because they know they're lying, they subconsciously give that away. And it's the same thing here. He's subconsciously he has to remind himself that he's in a bad position, right? Because realistically, there's probably more to it than that. There's probably some blame to go in other directions. Who would have thought? Okay? But in this case, because he's telling the story, he's not going to frame it that way. He's not going to frame himself as the villain. And these little reminders of how much he's done to overcome all these issues in the past is this subconscious reminder that he's in the right? I mean, this is the typical response. And so I'm sure there are problems on both ends. However, you cannot take the word of whoever is speaking because, I mean, then you're just looking at media, right? You're just looking at the news and taking their word for it, which is never what you want to do. Everything is based on individual interpretation. If it wasn't, you're just following whatever you're being told, right? It's like the Smosh meme, 99% of Americans believe everything they read. Or it was 99.9%, right? Which the joke within itself is, the joke itself is a parody of itself, right? As in you reading that statistic, the statistic is made up, it's a joke, right? But the joke itself is real, which it's kind of a paradox then, because the parody of the joke that you believe anything you read is true, but it's not really true, and anyways. Thank you for the replies. To add more context, never cheated. I do work in an industry that has a large female population. That's nice, but I'm literally an open book with work. Name colleagues and staff under me. She has access to my work agendas and correspondence if she really wanted to snoop. But on that note, she still doesn't know exactly what I do for a living at this time. Your wife doesn't know what you do for a living. Okay, we can only try so hard. We can only try so hard, man. There's only so much you can do. I need a drink. I'm gonna drink some tea. You leave a comment. Tell me what you think, or someone else. I don't care who makes the comment. I need a drink. This man's wife doesn't know what he does for a living. That's, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, yeah. We'll just go to the second one. We as whole family, once again with that improper grammar, okay? For somebody with such a high education and supposedly such a high positioning job, his grammar is god-awful, okay? Let's see here. We as whole family, her parents and mine, have tried to get her to go to therapy, but she refuses her skirts around the issue. When, at any point, did he explain what the problem with her was? Or, like, what was going on with her? He just basically was like, yeah, my wife isn't doing the enough work, and she's leaving me to do things, and she's blaming all the emotional stuff on me, and she doesn't listen to me. Like, that sucks, man, but where's the part about her having a problem? Like, mentally, right? Because he's saying that here, but that doesn't correlate anywhere. Let's see. Aside from my coming from a single mother household per se, my biological dad was present in my life. So she has had both parents in a reportedly monogamous marriage for over 40 years. First of all, who says reportedly monogamous marriage? Reportedly? What are you talking about, reportedly? This is what your wife said, isn't it? Wait, haven't you met her parents? What are you talking about, reportedly? What is this guy on about? What? And then, also, we're not even gonna cover this. Coming from a single mother household, my biological dad was present in my life. So about the whole thing of I came from a single parent household and it was difficult. Where did all that go? How about that? He had two parents. They're divorced, they're not living together? Yeah. So why is bro complaining? Probably because there's something to do with his involvement here. That's his fault, and he's not saying it here. This is what happens when people leave too much out of a story. Like for example, if you're the supervillain in a story, and you're trying to tell a story from your perspective, you cannot leave every part of the story where you are the bad guy out of the story without it being incomplete. Absolutely. Like if you had every single part, if a quarter of the story involved you being the villain, and you left out a quarter of the story, I'm just hearing rambling nonsense now because he left everything out. So what are we talking about then? What is all this about? I mean, it's nonsense. It's like opening up Lord of the Rings on book 2 and then going to page 250 something and starting from there. And that's how you start the franchise. Like, what are you doing? Start from the first book, you idiot. You know? He had both parents technically then? He did, yes. So he's lying, right? Or he's using a technicality as his position. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're having fun with that, Caden. And your with your schoolwork, I'm guessing. Yeah. All right. Ow. God, my lungs. Okay. My voice kind of hurts today. I've been yelling a lot. Not in anger. Mostly out of hype, honestly. Today's been a good day. Pretty much just I went to the park today. Stuff like that. What was it? Went bowling. Got I got like $10 out of a bet, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, today's Pretty good in that regard. Okay, let's see. I've tried to talk to her about everything and my own feelings, but again, one-upmanship. That's not a real word, dude, but okay. Tends to be the trend here. Okay. What I'm getting out of the marriage was asked. Now, aside from my 2 beautiful kids, I've been asking myself the same question. We have a near non-existent sex life, mainly since last year. That's nice. I always figured maybe it's part of depression or whatever she may be going through, You know, it's same old, same old. I'm not some supermodel husband, but temptation and opportunity does knock, and I can perform still, but I never give in. Because as cliche as it sounds, I honestly do love my wife and want to be only with her. Tell me you're leaving stuff out of the story without telling me you're leaving stuff out of the story. This guy, I can't take him seriously. I can't. There's nothing about this that I can. Number 6. I'll give credit where credit is due, as I don't want to sound biased, which, by the way, you sound very biased. When I say she wakes up and cooks, she cooks. Once again, there's no punctuation here, but okay. For everyone in the house. Myself, kids, mother-in-law, and even nanny. Aside from breakfast, she cooks all the meals and snacks. She cooks the snacks? Okay. I typically fast until lunchtime, and our oldest tends to eat a small, simple breakfast in case they don't like what school serves that morning. I don't eat breakfast at all, but yeah, I mean, I guess most people do. She does load both of the kids and her laundry. Okay. This guy needs to actually go to a real school instead of whatever education he's pursuing, because this is a joke to read. Okay, look at this. She does load both the kids and her laundry. She loads the kids and the laundry. How about that? She loads the kids and the laundry. So what'd she do? She just put them in the washing machine or in the dryer? How's that working? So you started your day every day then? No. Couldn't have possibly. Is that what I'm hearing? You're hearing that right, Caden. He's an idiot, yeah. She does load both the kids and her laundry. Proper grammar is all I'm asking. She loads the kids in the laundry. Seriously, what are we doing? But seldomly folds and puts them up. I typically do my own, and the rest of my clothing, or of my clothes, I dry clean because they're work clothes. She does keep track of our pantry and fridge. Why does he have that with a question mark? It's a statement. You do or you do not. There is no try. But after she makes the list, I'm the one who goes out and buys everything if not delivered. She just clean our bathrooms and house 50% of the time. The other 50 is done by either mother-in-law or myself, or sometimes nanny if she feels like being extra helpful. Prior to nanny, my mother-in-law was the main help for my wife until she had unexpected medical needs, so I opted to hire a nanny to help them both, more so when mother-in-law is having treatments and recovering. This guy's trash. He's trash. Sounds like an average day in China to me. That's random, yeah. I don't know. This guy sounds like your typical entitled American businessman. That's what he's sounding like here. It's like I run the paper company all by myself. I go home. I have a fresh cooked meal. It tastes amazing, but God, I can't stand that woman. Puts me through all this crap, one-ups me, takes care of the kids, loads them in the laundry, however the heck that's even working. Suddenly, I gotta clean the house. I ask my wife, can you clean the house? She says no. I did it yesterday. And I said, well, you gotta clean it again. I don't want to clean it again. Well, too bad, woman. You're my wife. And that's how this guy's thinking. That's this guy's thought process. I don't even... You know it, man. How long is this gonna be? Hang on. Jesus Christ. I really don't care about this guy's life. Holy mother of... Oh, my Lord. How does he even last this long? Yeah, Yeah, we're done. Yeah, we're done. We're done with this story. This is... We're not reading this guy's entire life story. That's not happening. Okay, let's see. Say it louder, I couldn't hear you.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Caden. We're not doing this one. It's not happening. It's not happening. Bro, that is repugnant. No, we're not doing that. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting too. Not reading that. Nothing political, just so you know. Okay. So tired of people not vaccinating their kids. I see we have somebody complaining on Reddit. Oh yeah, their thing is literally r/rant. That looks about right. Let's see what else we got here. Pre-Elon in action? Or PR Elon in action. What? Okay. Married for 2 years, found this on his phone. Are you ignoring me? I didn't mean to. I'm trying to figure things. Figure us out, you mean? Hey, Caden, should I do a WX analyst, sir? Should I do voices for each of the characters? I kind of want to. It'd be funny. Oh, right. There's a 10-second delay. I'll wait a minute. All right. Sweet. We're doing voices. Ooh, here we go. Let me get in character. All right, here we go. Are you ignoring me? I didn't mean to. I'm trying to figure things out.
Figure us out, you mean?
No, my marriage. Things have changed. I can't keep doing this.
Changed how? What happened?
We're close. We're finally connecting. The way we should have from the start.
So what? You don't need me anymore?
Bro, you can't make this stuff up. It's like a Disney movie. Hang on, we got more. I never should have needed you in the first place. I was weak. He spelled weak wrong, by the way. That's on me. Also, he used 2 dots instead of ... These people are absolutely chimps when it comes to writing. Okay.
Suddenly, you were connecting? Acting I meant nothing? Are you ghosting me now?
You knew from the start. I love her, and I'm not risking my marriage anymore.
Must be nice for her. She has no idea, does she?
No, and I'm keeping it that way. We're starting a family. Oh, okay. That's just, some of these are the same. We are done here.
A family? Are you kidding me? Wow. You are such a coward.
And it ends there. I guess we're doing this one. Let's see. I don't really have energy to explain how I found out and go into details. Long story short, it was an arranged marriage, something neither of us was happy about at first. But over the past year, we've been really growing closer. I have to admit he put in the most efforts for that. He was the perfect husband for a while now. Found this 3 days ago, and I still haven't confronted him. If I'm being honest, I don't feel betrayed or angry. I feel numb and distant. He keep asking what's wrong, but I feel like there's nothing more to talk. This is everything I needed to know. I mean, I'm not really going to put in my opinion here, because, you know, I feel like I'm not really qualified to provide an opinion here. I'll just ask you what you think, Caden, because if you say something stupid, then it's not really going to be... It's not really going to be displaced onto me. I feel like there's always something to say. Don't start a family before you have made peace about the situation with him, be it a divorce or not. When was a child mentioned during this? What country is this in? Why is everybody just posting images on here? Okay. Alright, next thing. My partner... No, this is going to be... We don't want wholesome. We want horrifying abominations of stories that we can laugh at and make fun of. That's what we want. I'm so over having to register with an account everywhere. I think this one's relatable. Let's see. We used to have normal websites and apps that would just provide information and let you use it easily. No account registration needed. Now, want to read some magazine? Account. Want to buy something once from this little online shop? Register. Need this random information from this unknown website? Sign in. Why do I have to open up an account for my Sudoku game app? Guess that's one more unwanted email newsletter I apparently agreed to. Fantastic. Swear to God, the next time I have to click forgot your password, I'm gonna scream. Agree, hate it, then they spam you. Restaurants are the worst. No, I'm not signing up and picking a local store and giving you an email address. I just want to see your menu. I hate this so much. I'm not starting an order. I just want to see food. Worked for a lighting company. We were having a meeting about new products. I suggested it may be annoying to clients to have to download an app to change the color or brightness. They all looked at me as if I was silly. Still stand by this statement. I mean, the thing is, I don't understand how any human on the planet can see this as a non-issue. You know? Like, who's working in a business and they're like, what do you mean? Why would we not use an app? It's like, you're a human too, supposedly, okay? You're supposedly a living human as well. So that means you go your everyday suffering the exact same issues and annoying random problems. So, tell me, every time you go to a freaking restaurant or go to get this little thing or you look up something or cite a source, do you enjoy having to sign into everything? Probably not, okay? So what human being is like, well, why wouldn't we use a website? Why wouldn't we want them to sign into this random thing they're never going to use again? I don't understand. I mean, like, most of these people are basically simulated. You know, it's like, they complain toward you or argue with you at your freaking job meeting, then they load out once the render distance gets too great. That's pretty much it. So lifespan in a nutshell, or life cycle, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Low bar. I just saw my biological father for a couple days and was reminded of the story. For context, we don't have the best relationship. Call him an absent parent. Practices neglectful. I don't really care. Okay. What time is it? Not exactly sure how long this has been going for, but we'll do one more major story. Let's see. Dude, the traumatize them back edgelord from earlier, they're still posting crap. They're on here again with another story. Like, we don't care. We really don't. Jesus, I'm tired of seeing freaking things from this person's had like 3 or 4 on here. Alright. How long is this story? Not very long. Cool, we'll use it. Alright, this is our final story, Caden. This wasn't a very long stream, but I made it work. Or at least I think so. Alright, here we go. Am I in the wrong for using information against my mother in court that I know will destroy her mentally/emotionally? This ought to be interesting. I finally have an update on my situation since I had last posted about 5 months ago. Court was postponed twice by my mother. That's for reasons I don't know. Bombing, probably. I found she has a total of 19 active warrants, including 3 probation violations. How is that even possible? Dude, your freaking mother's the hash-slinging slasher, apparently. Okay, I turned everything over to my lawyers in hopes something would work. 2 days after discovery was turned over to my mother's lawyers, my lawyer called to let me know she officially dropped the case. My children and I met with the guardian ad litem. Okay. They told the judge they see no issues whatsoever. After a year of fighting this, it's finally over. It's been such a tough battle, but I'm so happy my kids are safe and will never have to go through what I have. Thank you to everyone who wrote me personally and commented such positive things. You all have no idea how much it helped me, especially when I was having an internal struggle. My kids are doing better than ever, and I'm grateful we pushed through. Sweet. How about that? Ended off on a positive note. On a wholesome note, in fact. But guess what? We're not done just yet, my friend. We are not done just yet. We have one more thing we have got to do. Getting over it with Bennett Foddy. We're going to read a few reviews. Actually, Let me think. How about this? We'll save the Steam reviews for another time, but I will read my Steam reviews that I have written before. And that all starts... Let me see here. Huh. Okay. I'll just look it up on its own. All right. Let's see. First one's Bigfoot. Welcome in, new person. Stream is gonna last like an extra 5-10 minutes. Then we're gonna be done. All right. Let's check out my review on Bigfoot to start. We're at the end of the road here, so we're topping it off with something fun. All right, so this was when I first started playing Bigfoot. This was I had 4.1 hours during review time, and then by now I have 16.2. So this was for Bigfoot. Listen closely. This game is usually an extremely fun horror experience with both friends and solo, but there is one problem that I have with the game. Bigfoot's AI. The AI of Bigfoot is generally pretty polished and fun, but he might as well be the Eye of Sauron, since Bigfoot can find you anywhere, anytime, anyway. One time I was crouching in the corner of the house, all lights were off, including flashlight, and all of the windows had curtains over them. Even the door was closed. Regardless, Big Monkey Man barged through the door and unleashed a Mortal Kombat X-ray on me, and I was nearly killed. I recommend this game to everyone, but I hope that the devs do one of two things. Add difficulty settings that change the strengths of Bigfoot. Jesus, I just stuttered massively. Change the strengths of Bigfoot, or simply make Bigfoot no longer omniscient. No, I do not believe this is an unrealistic expectation. Bigfoot in the game is fine for the most part. However, he was actually much better programmed back when the game was called Finding Bigfoot, because not only was Bigfoot scarier then by a mile, but also he wasn't always on your cheeks. Sometimes he just wouldn't bother you, right? And in this game, in Bigfoot now, in the modern day, he's basically just a detector tower, right? He smells you across the freaking Yellowstone National Park, and he'll run across a mountain to get to you, and he'll never stop. He'll never sleep, and he'll never rest, and there's no hiding from him either. You can sit totally silent with zero lights on you, zero attention, nothing, in the middle of jack nowhere in a building closed off, and he'll still get to you, and he'll still know exactly where you're at, and then he'll make a beeline for it in like 5 minutes, okay? However, I do recommend the game because it is a lot of fun. Also, it seems I've gotten a few stickers for this, so that's cool. Poetry, hilarious, clever. I like it. Okay, next one is not so positive. I think I have more reviews. Like, I have one other one besides what I'm about to show, but I don't remember what game it was for. Oh, man, I don't remember. I remember. I think it was Empire at War. I also made a review for a couple of other games, I think, but I'm not sure. Okay. Next one is Helldivers 2, where my review is not positive. Despite this game being really popular and me having 200 plus hours in the game, I did not leave a very positive review. Let's see. So when I made the review, I had 3.4 hours in the game. Well, that's when I first made a review. And then after I first made a review, then I updated it later and then updated it again, okay? So by now I have 216.4 hours on Helldivers 2. And the review is still negative, yes. This is easily one of the most entertaining video games on the market, but the problems are starting to majorly outweigh the good. For starters, the game is usually fair and balanced in general, but the ways of which you die are egregious. Most games don't have friendly fire, or the biggest reason... Don't have friendly fire for the biggest reason that I typed this review. With friendly fire, I get team killed about 85% of my games. This is still true, by the way. There's also some guy that shoots like a blind garden gnome, or there's that one guy that always brings the orbital walking barrage against Terminids, therefore effectively killing half of the team. I can complete missions deathless on anything up to difficulty 7 and sometimes 8, but I have to actively avoid my own team in most matches. Just so you know, by now, I can play up to the hardest difficulty without dying. However, I actively have to avoid my teammates because they're the biggest threat to me than the enemies actually are. Let's see. When I'm not getting team killed, a magical charger will spawn right behind me and one-shot me, or I'll get screwed by 30 hunters at once while low on ammo. I'm pretty sure I actually typed raped, but it's fine. Let's see. The game also has a variety of bugs, not Terminids. And while most of them are fine, sometimes you'll randomly be sent spiraling 6,000 feet into the air and meet Morgan Freeman before falling. Yes, that's a Bruce Almighty reference. Let's see. You may also be unable to get up at times when getting attacked by melee weapons or melee enemies. Flinch is also busted, and Devastators will mow you down without you being able to use a stim or shoot back due to the flinch locking. Also, if you don't feel like getting killed by your team, solo is beyond unbalanced, past difficulty 3. Possible? Yes. Fun? Hell no. Yeah, it's not fun. Solo in this game is probably the most unbalanced solo experience in all of video game history. I'm not even kidding you. I'd actually rather play Halo 2 on Legendary than play this game by myself on anything above difficulty 3. I mean, it is a nightmare. You drop on the ground, you go, all right, where are the enemies? You throw 2 of your stratagems down. If you're fighting Terminids, you're going to go, what's that smell? And then you're going to get killed by a stalker from behind, or 2 stalkers, or 4 if you're me, okay? Let's see, if you're fighting automatons, you're going to drop on the ground, go 20 minutes of the game totally fine, and then get insta-killed by either a heavy devastator or a random rocket that was sent from God, okay? Let's see. And if you're fighting the Illuminate, solo is literally impossible because you're going to drop in, go, there's 40,000 enemies here, and then they're going to call in 20,000 more, and then suddenly you're surrounded by more enemies than you've ever seen in your entire life on one screen. So that's the average Helldivers experience on solo. So I just don't play solo most of the time. Okay. Next, we've got Empire at War. Just so you know, to everyone that's in chat right now, I probably will do a stream on Empire at War, Star Wars Empire at War. However, haven't done it yet. Also, like any Star Wars game, unfortunately, I'll have to mute the music in the background because obviously it's all John Williams copyright. But still, the game's good. However, it's an RTS game, and RTS games are usually more boring to watch than other things. But it'll be fine. I'll probably do it anyways. Okay. Here's my review. It's pretty short. Naboo got blown up by the Death Star, and the Galactic Empire won, 11 out of 10. On a serious note, this is one of the best RTS in history, and it's an amazing game for Star Wars fans. Pretty simple review. Straightforward. Kind. Gets the job done. Jesus, I'm like belching crap up now. Indeed. When I played this game, I played the campaign, it wasn't the campaign. It was, basically there's like Galactic Conquest mode where you play as one of the 3 factions, being Galactic Empire, Rebel Alliance, or, why am I drawing a blank on it? How am I drawing a blank on it? Zan Consortium. Jesus, I couldn't think of its name for a minute. Okay. Yes, you play as one of the 3 factions, and I played as the Galactic Empire. Well, in Galactic Conquest, you can make the Death Star once you get to Tech 5, which is the maximum technology level, and then you have to do a bunch of other stuff too. So I made the Death Star, and then I literally could fly it to a planet and just blow the planet up if I really didn't want to deal with the natives. Now, some planets I thought were too important to blow up simply, and then some planets I just didn't want to. However, I blew up Mandalore, so screw them. I mean, they get wiped out by the Empire anyways, so they might as well have had their planet blown up by the Death Star. What else? I blew up Naboo. That's the most typical example that I name here. I mean, nobody likes the Gungans, right? I mean, mass genocide, yada yada, right? What else? I also blew up... I didn't blow up Corellia, I don't think. I know there were a couple others. Maybe it was Dathomir. I'm not sure if I did that. But, yeah. Anyways. Well. It's been a good run today. It's been interesting. I'm not really sure too much of... what to add with that. It's been interesting. This one's a shorter stream than usual, but I thought that I wouldn't, spend too much time here. I'm not exactly at my full energy capacity, so just decided we have a short, chill kind of stream. Look at some Reddit, make fun of some stuff, and rant. So, with that in mind, if you enjoyed, please make sure to tune in for next time. Make sure to have some fun. Just checking on OBS right now. Please leave a like, comment. Check out the other videos to enjoy more. On this channel, I typically enjoy myself some Gmod roleplay, some Super Seducer, some Bigfoot. Let's see what else. We do RTS games, stream random crap, and talk about lots of anime stuff. So, with that in mind, please leave a like, comment, and I'll see you all in the next one.